What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co host, Josh.
Hey everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of the FIlmBros podcast. Okay, Josh. So today we got a Stream Buster movie to review today from our good friends at Netflix. It's an interesting movie. I thought the premise was pretty simple and kind of copy and pasted from different movies. But you know, Netflix likes to come in and do what they do best. And, you know, a little part of me says if they would have put this movie out and been like, hey, this is the reason why we should buy Warner Brothers, I would have laughed in their face just a little bit, right? I don't know. We have a movie to obviously review and discuss, but for the most part, I gotta just stay off the rip. Spoiler alert. This one might be a doozy.
Yeah,
Josh,
man.
let them know what we're gonna be talking about today, and let's just get into it.
We are reviewing War Machine 2026.
Son, you're one of the most promising candidates we've ever seen.
But why are you here? I just want to get across that finish line, Sergeant Major.
Yes, War Machine 2026, starring Alan Ritchson. Jay Courtney was in there as well. I would think it's kind of crazy to think that it's. Hold on one second. It's crazy to think that Alan Ritchson got a War Machine movie before Don Cheadle did, right?
That's crazy.
Isn't that just like
Yeah.
isn't that just like an insane thing to think about?
Yeah, that is kind of crazy actually.
Why isn't it letting me? Hold on. Is it because it crashed? It's not letting me like share my screen. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I think it was because. Can you see or no?
Yeah, I can see it.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. I can't see you, so it is what it is. All right, 1, 2, 3. So, Alan Ritchson comes out in the new War Machine. Like I said, Jay Courtney, Dennis Quaid, directed by Patrick Hughes. Josh, I mean, if we want to just start off, ripping the Band-Aid off, right? Just rip it off like a Band-Aid. Walking into this movie? Well, actually, a little bit of context. We both had movies that we were just thinking about what we wanted to review. We put two on the table. One of them was In a Blink of an Eye, and then the other one was this one. This is the one that we settled on. Walking into, I guess, both of these movies, obviously them being vastly different. With War Machine, how were you? Were you a little bit more excited than the latter?
No, I mean when we saw the trailer for this one, I think I had already made up my mind that I wasn't too interested in this because it was like, oh, it's like Predator but with a big ass robot. You know, it's nothing we haven't seen before. In a blink of an eye, I think I always prefer those stories about like life and the circle and how it all that goes. I think I'll always prefer those movies.
Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, I don't believe that because you're a boom bang pow guy.
Okay, but if we're putting up one that actually has substance versus something like this, it's a no-brainer.
Well, I guess that's something that's a good way to put it, right? Like substance, right? We'll probably be digging into that in a little bit. But I mean, me walking into this one, I was kind of excited. The premise sounded fun and everything, but slapping that Netflix logo and that whole tudum thing kind of just, it worries you deep down in your bones sometimes, right? Because I mean, don't get me wrong, Netflix has had some bangers. We've talked about it before, but not enough for you to be like, oh yeah, Netflix is a reliable person. Because the best way that I like to put this movie, like I said, if we're just gonna kind of rip it off like a Band-Aid before we start getting into everything, it kind of felt like McDonald's, right? Like fast food for movies, if that makes sense. Like it was just very off rip. Like seeing the trailer felt that way, but watching the film in its entirety, kind of felt like that formulaic feel that a lot of people talk about, and it's just it just, I don't know. I really want to just start digging into this one, but for the most part, walking into it, I was excited for Alan Richson, I guess him as an actor. Um, and then here we are.
That's it.
Here we are.
That's it. That's literally.
That was the selling point for me, at least.
Yeah.
So, like I said, War Machine, 69% tomato meter, 73% on the popcorn meter. I mean, are we agreeing with this score here?
No, I mean, I don't know why people like it so much. I don't understand that part.
I was seeing a
As
lot of
far as
people enjoy it and actually kind of
yeah,
talking about it, which
it's weird, crazy. As far as the tomato meter, we've seen better movies get shit scores. How did the fuck did this one pull almost 70%?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's something we're gonna have to dig into because the score kind of baffles me a little bit, at least with the tomato meter. Because the popcorn meter, I can kind of understand. You know, we've talked about this before. Netflix is kind of notorious to being the people that is like, we're gonna repeat the plot because people are not gonna be paying attention or whatever, right? So a lot of people are gonna kind of put this on, not really worry about like well, they'll probably have things going on in the background, whatever, what Sarando said and what Ben Affleck was saying as well. But, like, this is probably going to be grade A material for those people that don't, like, just sit down and watch the full movie, right?
Yeah, probably, most likely.
Probably.
100%.
So I could kind of understand this score in a way. But, yeah, so War Machine, directed by Patrick Hughes. Josh, if you want to kind of give us the rundown of what this film's about, spoilers up ahead. We're going to be breaking it down and we'll talk about the characters, all that good stuff. Josh, go ahead.
All right. Alan Ritson, we follow his character in the beginning on a mission through Afghanistan, something like that. He had just got done. His platoon gets blown up. He has to carry his brother. It doesn't work out too well. We cut to him a couple years later. He wants to be a ranger, as they say in the movie, a special type of unit. He's been denied several times because of his injury. He doesn't play well with others. He just wants to go in, serve, get out, whatever. And then we follow his journey to being a better soldier and taking on an actual alien type war machine, as the movie says. We get that. We get his battle against it. We get him trying to, be a team leader, all that stuff. That's the gist of it, without giving too much more away. Even though that's pretty simple.
And we're gonna talk about plot and everything like that, but just to kind of touch on that beginning part where I gotta be honest, like in the beginning of the movie, there was a little bit of like what I thought would have been like a great premise to kind of lean on as the movie goes on, but I kind of feel like the movie goes all over the place to the point where you're like, well, what was that about? Is it really that is gonna carry you through something that should have, to be honest, never really happened to you in realistic life, right? So I mean, questions for sure. So characters. Alan Richson, he plays 81. Stephen James, 7. Jay Courtney was a squad leader, a.k.a. Alan Richson's brother. S.A. Morales as Torres. Alex King as 44. And so on and so forth. I'd like to call the rest of them the disposables, right? The disposables. If I had a nickel for every time Jay Courtney was in a movie and just died in the beginning, I would have 2 nickels, which is kind of weird to say.
Mm-hmm.
That it happened twice, right? Am I tripping?
Right. I mean, the cast felt kind of stacked a little bit. I mean, not like I know that I recognize half of these people from Titans,
Right. Yeah.
Like CJ pointed out that the dude that played Slade from Titans is here. She remembered, Hawk, which was just Alan Richardson's character. Like there was a good handful of people here that were just from the DC side of the TV shows, which was fucking strange. If we're talking characters, none of them really left an impression on me. I mean, so much so I forgot the generals' names, like the head brass of the operation. I forgot their names.
Mm-hmm.
The main characters don't even get names; they get numbers. So
Yeah,
how am I supposed to care about a number? You know?
right. I mean, I guess that's why they kind of laced that whole beginning part. But I'm just like, I mean, I get it, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about the plot in a second, but at least character wise, I mean, I like what Alan Richardson does. I know, like for me, the dialogue is kind of shitty, but I feel like that's how military people actually speak. So I'm just like, don't get me wrong. We got to be honest. Military people aren't always the brightest, but they are pretty fucking tough. So we got to be honest there. But
You're funny.
for the most part, that I kind of feel like the dialogue was there and everything with all of them. I just feel like there was just nothing to even root for. That they were just there to kind of just be strong, and then you know Alan Richardson's character going through it in the beginning and all that stuff, which like I said, was completely, in my opinion, executed well in the beginning. You kind of saw it coming. I mean, if nobody saw it coming, I mean, you got to be honest with yourselves. Like you knew it was gonna happen. When
Yeah.
I saw Jay Courtney about it, like that was gonna happen to him, I was like, again, dude, in the
Hmm.
beginning, you don't even get a chance, my boy. You don't even get a chance. I don't know. Character wise, I guess nobody really gave me anything to really
It was.
root
They were
for.
kind of. Yeah, they were all kind of whack.
I think the most touching part was when like Alan Richardson and like Jay Courtney were like looking at each other intensely as they were about to die in a flashback. I was like, this is the most emotion I got this whole film. Is so
Hmm.
insane.
Yeah, no, it's fucking crazy.
But yeah, character wise, I don't think any of them really like had a character arc worth shining for. I mean, I know they were trying to make 15 like this hero, and then he kind of I kind of feel like they pulled what is it, like a Kong Skull Island, like they were just trying to go and get everybody and just kill everybody, like it doesn't matter, or like a Predator movie, like how you were saying. So nobody really got development, and nobody got really like a sincere, oh my god, he just died. It was just more like, oh my god, he just fucking died.
Yeah, like, oh, this is everyday shit for us,
Yeah, yeah, I don't
which is
know.
just it's wrong. This shit was wrong. It made me feel not anything for when they had to go.
Right. So I mean, did that was there a standout character for you at least?
Alan Ritson, I guess he's the only one that I know
The
is
star.
fucking the lead. So other than that, that's it.
Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah, because everybody else, no, I really don't. If anything, I ain't gonna lie. Stephen James's little character arc had me rolling. You gonna tell me this man was in a like waterfall, laying down on his back in a bed, about to hang and fall? Like since the beginning, he was just being dragged everywhere, and I was just like,
Right.
wow, like I would hate to be him. Like I would just imagine you're like you can't do nothing. You're about to go down a waterfall. Like holy shit, what do I do? Like nothing. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. We could go to plot next, just to kind of knock out the very next part of all this. The whole War Machine thing, which, like, let's be honest, like we seen it in the trailer, but really comes out of left field in this movie. You got to be honest. Like in the beginning, it's supposed to be like this heartfelt character arc where like Alan Richardson is trying to like become a ranger and all that stuff, and in the middle of rangering, that's when like all shit breaks loose. And you're telling me, as military people, like they didn't bother calling them or anything like that. I guess that's all secondary to it, but like plot wise, the machine. I mean, they kind of sprinkled it in with just like little trailers within the movies, or not trailers, but like news things saying like a meteor is like going over Earth and all that stuff. And I'm just like, this is like the weakest way to kind of set up these monsters, these robots, or whatever they're supposed to be. Um, I honestly like. I guess the best way to put it is like what you texted me was like a nothing burger. It was just like there was no really like plot to follow besides like, okay, he's sad, he's hurt, and then he's trying to make something of himself, and then oh, don't worry about that anymore because we got a fucking giant machine killing people, right?
Right. And like it just feels like a separate kind of thing, you know? Fucking like you watch the beginning and you're like they okay, war movie, war movie. We're gonna get a guy being the war machine. You know, he's cold, calculated. He just wants to serve. You know,
Hmm.
and lies. Make him fight a robot. Like that's where they went.
One
I don't
man,
know.
one robot.
One guy versus one robot, and then by the end, you're telling me the whole United States Army had trouble with a couple of them. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm.
I thought the plot was dumb. I think from the beginning to end, I think trying to tie in the fucking his brother's death is it was supposed to work and be what chained him down and all that stuff, but they made it seem like I don't know. Right at the end, it kind of felt like he didn't give a fuck right up until it was time for a flashback moment.
Basically, right? My thing was is that they try to give him a lot of like art, like isn't the whole thing is that like he's trying to make it to the finish line, but then they try to make it a thing like he like drowning is like his kryptonite or something too, and I'm just like, well, where did that come from? Like multiple times there was like this like, oh, is he gonna drown or is he gonna survive? And it's like we know he's gonna make it, so why are they doing this? I don't know. They kind of like they took a simple plot and they try to dramatize it and stretch it out. I felt, and it just I don't know. I like I said, if you do want to put something on and you don't care if like voices are in the background and stuff like that, I mean, I understand watching it, but plot wise, if you're just sitting there, it's just nothing. Like you're just
Yeah, nothing burger.
it's
as I
two
told you.
different plot lines put together. It's one of those McDonald's sandwiches where they get like a McDouble and put a chicken patty in the middle and shit.
Yeah, it's
But
just
not as
unappealing.
delicious, clearly.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I kind of feel that because it was like I think of a story about him. You know, take out the robot and give me a deeper story about him and him grieving over his brother and just wanting to serve and all that stuff. A1 movie right there. A1. But no, he's doing dumb shit against a robot. It
Yeah,
just
because
doesn't work.
it felt like they were going for like like the Covenant kind of feel, like trying to give like a heroic war story kind of like type feel in the beginning, and then next thing you know, we go Predator movie. So I'm like, I understand, but like even the Predator movie just kind of said, hey, these are a bunch of macho men in the forest that are trying to fucking trying to do their job and shit, and then they get ambushed by like an elite predator, and this one is just like, no, let's totally try to sell them the story in the beginning and then just add a robot in the middle of all
Let's
that
just bail out halfway through and throw in a fat ass robot.
right, just to give it a little sizzle, a little pizzazz, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, cinematography, I mean,
Not much good stuff.
I gotta
Not
say,
much good stuff.
what is it? Netflix always got to cut itself at the legs, right? If it's not a good movie, it got to be like really, it got to look pretty decent, right? But then if it's like a bad movie, sometimes the CGI is okay, and if it's like a good director, like the movie looks visually ugly or something like that, right? Like because there's a standard and they gotta kind of fit in that box. So, I mean, I guess with this one, it was just more of the CGI was pretty bad. If we're gonna want to just talk about CGI as well,
That shit was
with
terrible,
it, too.
atrocious.
The fight scenes were just, I don't know. I think some of the ways that I do like the one shot scenes. Let's be honest, like the one that was in like the APC and all that stuff, like that was pretty cool. Like when you saw them like jumping in and out, but like the background was so distracting because it just felt like either it was green screen or like a volume or whatever it might have been, and it just looked fake. It looked bad. I did like when like I said, just the single shots. But other than that, I think everything else was just kind of edited like normal.
It was cut up weird. It cut up like a Netflix film. That's the best way I could put that. It just, I don't know, something about this movie. I was not fucking with it. It just felt kind of everything felt bland to me, from the story to the characters to the goddamn other shit.
Even the robot like chasing them, huh?
fucking
Like there was no like
chasing him.
intensity.
Chasing him, really?
There was no intensity with it at all. I couldn't feel like any like kind of like edge when when they're about to get shot and all that stuff. I'm just like, oh, what? I will say, if we're moving on from like the cinematographer and all that stuff, I will say like the fight scenes and the death scenes. Not the fight scenes so much because I kind of felt like they kept running and dying in the most dumbest ways. But I thought
when they were getting like
their limbs and
evaporated,
stuff were pretty cool.
yeah, when they were getting like shot in the head or straight up like evaporated, I thought that shit was cool.
Yeah, see, that was like if you just think about it, like the boom bang pow of this movie was like the best part of it, but even then, it didn't look visually good either, right? So I mean, was there a favorite scene that you kind of liked that kind of had an emotion or like a fight scene or something cool that happened? I guess I don't know.
Something cool that happened. No, man, no, I got fucking. I'm trying to think. I guess the robot when he shot up the missiles, I thought that was pretty cool.
I gotta say, like the climax for me, like the whole, what is it, bulldozer versus that. I gotta be honest, kind of sucked. That shit was like the blandest third act I've seen in like a while.
Right.
This is like Madam
dark, dark as fuck too for no reason.
It was dark as fuck too. But yeah, I don't know. Another Netflix film that probably just is gonna be another Netflix film. Will I say that this movie deserves a watch? I don't know. Well, Josh, I don't know. Let's give them a rundown. Let's go down to where we need to at this point. Give us your little summary of what you think about the film. Your rating as well. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 5 being in the middle. Go ahead.
I thought this movie was a nothing burger. Like I bit into it, and it was just no patty, no lettuce, no cheese, no tomato, no nothing. It was just bun and sauce. Um, I don't think I wouldn't recommend it. I do think that if you're gonna watch it, like one and done type shit, but if it can hold your attention for more than a second, power to you. But yeah, I don't think this movie was for me. Netflix needs to stop. I gotta give it like, fuck, like 4 out of 10.
Yeah, that was how cause I ain't gonna lie, like I was invested in the beginning, cause I was like, okay, how are they really gonna tie this plot with the whole robot thing in the middle? Cause I know watching the trailer, cause we watched the trailer, that there's gonna be a giant robot at one point, and I'm just like, if you didn't watch the trailer, I'm sure you got blindsided just a little bit. You're just like, man, wasn't this guy just struggling? Now he's over here having to fight a robot. Like I said, I think this is something that only Netflix does with these kinds of movies. I mean, you'll have some movies, like I said, with like good directors that attempt something decent, like Frankenstein, and then you'll have these other movies where it's like, boom, bang, pow. Just watch the movie because it's on Netflix and we need people to tune in. Congratulations, you got me to tune in. Alan Richardson as your title, or at least your guy, is gonna always kind of like draw me in. But this movie, I already knew walking in Netflix was gonna fuck me, so I just gotta leave it at that, right? 3.5. A decent watch if you're blind. No, just kidding. A decent watch if like you have other things to do and you have kids running around the house, and you just gotta watch an action movie. You know what better movie that kind of involves aliens and military people that is probably better than this one? Predator. Go watch that one. Oh, you know what? I got another one. Battle Los Angeles. Go watch that one. I know a lot of people, that one's kind of shaky for some people, but I would prefer that one over this one in a way as well. I just think Netflix needs to reevaluate themselves, especially as a company talking about wanting to make film movies that are meant for theaters, and try to play in these big sandboxes with box office and everything, and then you put out a movie like this. Bullet dodged, in my opinion. War Machine, I wouldn't recommend you to watch it, but give it a watch. Let us know what you guys think. With that being said, though, any topics that we should be talking about, movies we should be reviewing. You want to hear your voice on one of these episodes, we want to hear your thoughts on the movie as well. Josh, let them know where they can talk to us and do all that good stuff.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FIlmBros Podcast. Post our episodes every week. If they're for news or movies you wants to cover, Buzzsprout link just gave you. It's like a Patreon. You subscribe, show go. Appreciate it. Let's do it anywhere you get your podcast at FIlmBros Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Music, Apple Podcasts, again, wherever you get your podcast. The conversation, Twitch at FIlmBros Podcast, and what's also done, subscribe to YouTube at FIlmBros Podcast.
And with that being said, we will talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.